Oh my god, what an awesome day! I mean, not only did we get some sweet trailer drops that I am ready to make videos about, but also my Rams won the Super Bowl? Dude! Woo! I love LA! Yeah, it's a pretty good time to be in Angelino. But folks, that is not why we are here. We are here today to celebrate our return to Middle-earth. That's right, Amazon Prime is bringing us back to J.R.R. Tolkien's Legendarium with the new series, The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. We got our first teaser trailer today during the game, and holy shit! Yeah, alright, for those of you who don't know, I am a huge Lord of the Rings fan. The Lord of the Rings trilogy is one of the best movies ever made, if not the absolute best. And I mean, the Hobbit movies are enjoyable too, but now we're getting some more visual storytelling from that world. See, the stories of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, they take place during the Third Age of Middle-earth, but this new series on Amazon Prime, The Rings of Power, great title by the way, is gonna take place during the Second Age, so this is thousands of years before The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. But alright, first that title, The Rings of Power. We Lord of the Rings fans know that the Rings of Power refers to the rings that were given to the kings of men, elves, and dwarves. 3 rings went to the elves, immortal, wisest, and fairest of all beings. 7 rings went to the dwarf lords, great miners in their halls of stone. And 9 rings went to the race of men, who above all else desire power. They're doomed to die, they're mortal. But then finally, the Dark Lord Sauron forged in secret a Master Ring, the one ring to rule them all. He forged them in the fires of Mount Doom, in the land of Mordor. So I imagine that this series, called The Rings of Power, is going to focus on that. Maybe it's going to focus on the forging of the rings, like maybe these rings have not been forged yet, or maybe it's going to focus on, now that the rings have been forged, what direction is the history of Middle-earth going to go? Either way, it is focusing on something that we Lord of the Rings fans are familiar with. So now, alright, let's talk about this teaser trailer because, dude. I mean, that very first shot we see, like that boat going into the city, we're like, oh my god, we are back in Middle-earth. This big city, it looks like an elvish city, because I mean, it's got that big statue that straight up reminds us of Amun-Hen, which we saw in Fellowship of the Ring. But then I'm thinking, this probably isn't Amun-Hen. I mean, the statue doesn't look exactly the same. That being said, this is a different studio making it, so it might look a little different. It's not Warner Brothers, it's not New Line Cinema, it's not MGM, it's Amazon Prime. So maybe this is Amun-Hen, but there's a city there, so like maybe it's Rivendell? It's probably not Rivendell, but it looks like a mixture of Amun-Hen and Rivendell. At least to me anyway. I've never read like any of the J.R.R. Tolkien pages. I've never actually read the Lord of the Rings books. I've read The Hobbit, but I've never read the Silmarillion or the Unfinished Works or whatever that's called. So yeah, I admit I'm not too familiar with the written works of J.R.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth, meaning I don't really know who Tom Bombadil is. All I have is the movies, but they're enough for me. Anyway, moving on with this trailer. I mean, just get a load of some of these views, these visuals. I've heard that the budget spent on this TV show is the highest budget yet on any TV show. And honestly, I can't blame them. I can't really say I'm surprised, because again, this is Middle-earth. Middle-earth fans hold their lore very close to the chest. They're like, alright, if they're gonna make a new Lord of the Rings series, it has to be good. It can't be crap, it can't be half-assed. They have to give it their all. And if these visual effects are an insinuation of anything, it looks like they are. And among all this, we see this one blonde woman climbing an ice wall like she's in Westeros or some shit. This is actually a character we know. This is Galadriel. Yeah, as in Lady Galadriel. We know her from the Lord of the Rings movies. She was played by Cate Blanchett. She is one of the Elven Queens. She gets one of the Rings of Power. And in this series, she is played by Welsh actress Morfydd Clark. I don't know too much about her background, but I'm certainly open to her playing Galadriel. I mean, yeah, the character is not confined to one actress playing her. I know Cate Blanchett did an amazing job. I'm not denying that at all. She was perfect in that role. But I mean, this is a different time. It looks like here she's not queen yet. Maybe she's a warrior because we see her riding on a horse later. So she's an elven warrior and she's played by Morfydd Clark. Cool. Maybe she has to earn the Ring of Power. And as the trailer goes on, we see some more cool things, fireballs going through the sky. We see some ethnic diversity for the first time in live-action Middle-earth, which of course I have no problem with. Yeah, for the first time in visual live-action Middle-earth, not everyone's gonna be white. Everyone's probably gonna be British, but at least we have differences in skin color. I know that Nazanin Boniati's gonna be in this show. I know her as Nora from How I Met Your Mother. I have a feeling she's probably gonna play an elf. I don't know though. We see this big troll monster thing. That looks pretty good, CG-wise. And then of course, this being Lord of the Rings, we gotta have some big wars. We get some small snippets of people in war. I know that Peter Jackson wasn't too heavily involved in the production of this show, but I am hoping for some of those Peter Jackson swooping shots. You know the ones I'm talking about. Those big, like, helicopter-like shots where it's coming down on a huge field and there's just a bunch of soldiers there clashing. Yeah, those awesome, epic, sweeping shots. Because that's like a staple of Lord of the Rings. You gotta have that. This show's not coming out until September, so we got 7 more months to wait. We don't know much about any of the characters or the plot. I think the only character we know so far, anyway, is Galadriel. Other than that, I don't know any names, but I'm pretty sure this is gonna be quite the epic show. Middle-earth is back. We're gonna have some more trailers in the coming months. I know that for sure. We gotta learn a little bit more about the characters and the plot, and it looks like I'm finally gonna have to make some videos on Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy. Yeah, don't worry, I will make them before the show premieres. Ooh boy. But we are returning to Middle-earth. The budget looks absolutely amazing. These visual effects, man, they are not messing around. I love it. I'm curious about this story, the Rings of Power. What's the deal? Are we gonna see Sauron? I don't know. I guess only time will tell. So, the teaser trailer for The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Have you watched it yet? What do you think about it? Are you looking forward to this show as much as I am, or are you more skeptical? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And of course, thank you for subscribing. Now, if you'll excuse me, after this, I got a Doctor Strange trailer to talk about. Oh man, that trailer blew my mind too. What a kick-ass day. Peace!